Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Straight Facts Commentary where I give you my unpopular opinions in everything pop culture. So please stick around and subscribe for more. Hey y'all, I am back again with another video. And in today's video, you see the title, we are going to be speaking about Megan Thee Stallion and her affiliation with Rock Nation and whether that's a good thing or a bad thing to you all. So we're going to get into it. If you're interested in her, female rap, pop, conspiracy theories, trending topics, my popular opinions, whatever I feel like getting into for real, go on ahead and subscribe and let's get into this video. Okay, so I wanted to have a conversation about Megan Thee Stallion and Rock Nation. Actually, I've been wanting to have a more in-depth conversation about it for a while and whether or not it truly is a good thing or a bad thing, because there's a lot of discourse that I've seen around Megan and Rock Nation, her affiliation with it, and how a lot of people aren't happy with it. And I wanted to have a real conversation, not a conversation just like basically spewing hate or anything like that, but a real conversation on why some people feel it could be a good thing or a bad thing and basically your reasonings for it. So I kind of wanted to give my opinion on it as well, not just hear you guys' thoughts, but give my opinion on whether I feel like it's a good thing or a bad thing. But before we get into like speaking specifically about that, I wanted to show Megan Thee Stallion's record labels and management teams so you guys can kind of get an idea of where Megan Thee Stallion is right now. So let me go ahead and put that up on the screen. Okay, so when I Googled, this is what comes up. She's affiliated with Rock Nation as her management team, and then Hot Girl Productions is her, her business. And then she's also distribution, I believe, by 300 Entertainment. And then down here at the bottom, I believe, are labels that she was affiliated with, but not anymore. 1501 and BMG Rights Management, I believe. And then this cuts off, but it says, as a part of the new deal with WMG, Megan Thee Stallion will continue to be managed by Jay-Z's Rock Nation label. This deal follows the move by and her former. It cut off. If you want to read the rest, just Google it. It'll say the rest. Either way it goes, technically she is considered independent, even though a lot of people don't consider her independent because of the push and the extreme management and promotion that she gets from Rock Nation and just distribution from 300 and things like that. People feel like she's technically independent, but she's not really. She's mainstream enough. She's getting a bigger push than most artists who are, less popular than her. So people don't really count it technically as independent, even though I guess technically it would be considered as so. So before we get into like the negative discourse around Megan Thee Stallion and this Rock Nation affiliation, I wanted to highlight some positives because, whether people want to talk about it or not, there actually are some positives with her being associated with Rock Nation. It is, first of all, the connection to Jay-Z and Beyonce. Those are huge names in the music industry, and anyone who's getting a light shined on them by someone as big as them is a good thing, industry wise, industry look wise, connections wise. All of these types of things are good. So when Megan Thee Stallion walks into certain rooms, goes into certain places, and people are like, oh, that's the girl who's being managed by Jay-Z and Beyonce, or oh, Jay-Z and Beyonce, oh, you're cool with them, or oh, you signed a deal with them, or oh. So we're not gonna sit here and pretend as if, association with them is a bad thing. Well, I don't know. At this point, though, it's kind of getting a little shaky because the public is acting funny towards Jay-Z and Beyonce right now because of the affiliation with Diddy, allegedly, and everybody talking about that and the whole, Jaguar Wright thing and the news and all. It's getting murky, and then people are annoyed by Beyonce because of her business stuff and selling people things. So there is a little bit of some like tension going on with, the Beyonce clan right now. But I would say in a general sense, it's supposed to be a good thing to be associated with a brand as large as the Carters, right? So that's one. Two, the amount of resources that Jay-Z and Beyonce have to be able to give Megan Thee Stallion to help her career, when it comes to brand deals or when it comes to music video quality, studio time, studio, whatever they're giving her. I don't know exactly the rundown of her contract and what exactly they are giving her, but they have the resources to be able to help her with different aspects of her career that she probably wouldn't have on her own. Like, and when I say on her own, I mean 100% independent, no affiliation with Rock Nation, no affiliation with nothing. She's just doing it bare bones. Woo, excuse me. Oh my god. Sorry. So that's a wonderful thing. That's a wonderful thing, to be able to have the resources that a lot of artists in a similar position than her don't have. So, with that being said, I definitely do think there are positives to Megan the Stallion being associated with Rock Nation, in that way. Also, there's positives to it in the way that they're a management team, not necessarily a label. So, Megan still has the ability to do things as she pleases, as she wishes. She doesn't have probably a same strict contract as other artists would under, different types of deals. So she has the creativity, she has the flow, she has to be able to probably do things a little bit easier without the constricts of like super super tight contractual binds, that maybe she doesn't necessarily have the same exact ones with Rock Nation, is my guess anyway. Another positive thing that I'd like to highlight is it's actually a good thing for her to get the push and promotion, that a lot of people are saying that she has from Rock Nation, because that is what the management team is supposed to do. The management team is supposed to make the artists look brand new, sparkly, and appealing. Put them in spaces where people are going to see them, put them in spaces where people are going to hear them, provide different opportunities for them. So, actually, by means of a management company, they're doing a great job. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether people necessarily love that or not, they're actually doing a great job in putting her in different positions. Like, she just got to, host the VMAs, and she's doing all these different brand deals, and she's just everywhere. Megan Thee Stallion is pretty much inescapable. So if I was an artist and I had Rock Nation as a management team, I wouldn't necessarily be complaining in terms of that. Like, she is getting the exposure, she's getting the push, she's getting the all around attention. So that's actually a wonderful thing. That's a great thing. But I will speak about the other side of this as well. Some of the negative things, or the negative connotation that has been associated with Megan Thee Stallion being a part of Rock Nation, or being pushed by them, as it were. And I think one of those things is people feel like she's being pushed too much. So, being pushed too much because they feel as though she's getting all this exposure, she's getting all of this, she's getting all that, she's here, she's there, she's everywhere. But some people don't feel as though her status matches up with the amount of pushing that she is being pushed as, if that makes sense. So, Megan Thee Stallion's album just did 60K, around the 60K range. Some people feel like for somebody who's being pushed as hard as she's being pushed right now, and to be elevated as much as she's being elevated, and for her to be given as much as she's being given by her management team and anyone else who's helping or putting their hand in the pot of the brand of Megan, um, that it's not matching up to the accolades. It's not matching up to the amount of success that she has in her rap career in its current state. People feel like, anything under 100K in sales is considered a flop for most people. And that, her tour, people were saying her tour didn't do that well. Again, I don't really speak on tours because I don't really know too much about how, I mean, it looked like it did well to me, but people are saying that it didn't. So I don't want to get into that. But what I can speak about is the album sales, the overall perception for her album. Mamushi doing what it did and everything like that, but that being the biggest single, and now we don't really hear too much about it. She's getting ready to drop an act 2 this month. So that'll be good. So that'll be good to hopefully propel some more conversation around Megan, because I'm not really hearing a lot of people speak about the Megan album as it stands right now. So, all that being said, people are like, it's not really matching up to where she is in her career. The level of push and where Megan Thee Stallion is currently in her career isn't matching. The amount is matching. So that's what people are saying. That's what people feel as though is the negative thing, being associated with Jay-Z and Rock Nation. Also, people feel like it's negative potentially because of the bad press that Jay-Z and Beyonce are experiencing right now, and that maybe it won't be good in the long run for Megan to even be affiliated with them. That is more speculatory because there isn't anything that we have on Jay-Z and Beyonce proof-wise that they've done anything. So we can't really use that as of now. So I do see some of the points that people are making, or the conclusions that people are drawing when it comes to that as well. So I think there's a bit of duality when it comes to her association with Rock Nation. I don't think it's all good and I don't think it's all bad. I feel like it's a mix. You know what I'm saying? I understand what people are saying when it comes to, well, it's not necessarily matching up in her current state of her career. But I am for open discourse on this channel, so we can definitely have a conversation about that. We're not going to spew hate. We're not going to go back and forth and argue and yell and scream at people. Like, I just don't want to do that on my channel. That's not how I operate. I'm all for healthy discourse. I'm all for conversation. I'm all for debates, even. We can agree, disagree, whatever you want to say, but just keep it cute. Don't be going off in here and doing all that. Y'all will get blocked if you get too crazy. It's just, we don't do that here, okay? We don't do that here. But yeah, so I feel like for some people, it's just a matter of the hype of the music in the current, Megan's current era. I'm not necessarily talking about past eras. And the current state of her career doesn't seem to be fully matching up with, you know, the push that she's receiving. And that is the issue that some people have had, or just like the mismatch and correlation that some people have noticed. And I definitely can partially agree with that. So hopefully with her next you know, Megan Part 2 that's supposed to be coming out this month, I believe, and then also with her future singles, her future albums, that it generates more of an authentic buzz around the project as a whole. And I don't mean just like one song. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean like just, you know, what I mean like as a whole, that people are really processing and enjoying and feeling the project. And I just don't feel like people deeply resonated with the project as a whole. I don't mean like a couple of songs here and there, because there's a couple of songs off the Megan project here and there that I enjoyed. So it's not to say that. I just feel like as a whole, compared to other projects that she's dropped in the past, I just don't feel like there's that deep connection and resignation with the project as a whole. And so there is something missing with this last project, in my opinion, even though, like I said, due to her being affiliated with Rock Nation, and due to her being affiliated, you know, with her distribution team, and due to her being affiliated with XYZ, she has had a very squeaky clean, polished image with this album. I don't feel like the music really sat and resonated with the people, because I really just don't hear people talking about the Megan album anymore. When I say Megan, I'm not speaking about her name. I mean her project, Megan. You know, I don't hear a lot of people speaking about that when it comes to like right now in the present moment. Not to say nobody's streaming it, not to say people aren't watching this video who aren't streaming it, but I just mean in a general sense. So I think that is the disconnect that some people have with her affiliation with Rock Nation, which I can definitely see. But like I said, there are there are positives and there are negatives. So let me know in the comments down below how you feel about either side. And that's really it for this one. Love y'all down, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.